Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for taking the time to watch my live feed. Today, I'm going to be talking about real estate investing. 5 simple steps in real estate investing. Bear with me. I said I take notes, and I'm going to give you a breakdown of how to get started and how you can make money in real estate investing with no money. First of all, let me tell you how I got introduced to real estate investing. It started when I bought a course. I think it was like 2006. It was called the Carton Sheets Real Estate Investing Course. Basically, we're teaching you how to wholesale properties. I know I get a lot of times, a lot of people ask me about real estate investing. So I decided to go live and talk about it. What is real estate investing? Basically, what I'm going to talk about is wholesale. This requires no money, no credit check. All you're doing is finding distressed properties. I say distressed properties can be a lot of reasons why it's distressed. It can be because they're facing foreclosure. Maybe they owe back taxes. Maybe it could be all types of things. So, like again, I'm going to talk to you the 5 steps that anybody can do as a beginner in how to get started in real estate investing. First thing is, key terms you need to remember is ARV, MAO, which is maximum allowed offer. 3, a signed contract. 4, cash buyers. 5, motivate sellers. You said, what is an ARV? Basically, the ARV is how much a houses or properties worth after it, if it's fixed up or anything like that. MAO is basically the maximum you can offer to a property. You must have a contract to get started. 4, cash buyers and motivate sellers. So, have you ever been driving around and you see a sign saying we buy houses? 9 out of 10, that's an investor. Most investors use business signs to get leads, to do deals, to find vacant properties, to find people that are selling their house. So what a motivated seller is, basically, they're facing foreclosure maybe. Maybe they're tired of being a landlord. Maybe they owe back taxes. It could be all type of reasons why they're in pre-foreclosure. And if they're motivated, that's one of the reasons why they would sell their property. You say, you ask the question, do you got to have a license? No. Do you got to have a credit? No. Again, you basically being a the middleman. Basically, you find distressed properties. You ask the question, how can you find motivate sellers? Maybe you can start with dropping for dollars. Basically, you drive around your neighborhood and see can you find vacant properties. Another way you can find motivate sellers is on Facebook, social media. Another way you can find motivate sellers is on Craigslist. Like I said, there's lots of ways. So like a motivate seller is somebody that's in distress. They motivated to sell because like I told you before, they're facing pre-foreclosure, back taxes, tired of being a landlord, and many reasons why. Inherited property. Maybe they moved out of state. Maybe they bought a new house and try to get rid of the old one. It could be all type of reasons why. What do you consider your sellers? Like I told you, people who are facing pre-foreclosure. People that have vacant properties. Let's say so many tired of being landlords. You ask you the question, why would they sell it to you? Again, I told you before, there are many reasons why. So now I said that was step 2. So step 3 would be is you analyze the deal. What most people don't realize that when you analyze a deal, you will pay up to 70% rule. So, and minus the repairs and stuff like that. So let's give you an example. If a house is worth $250,000, right? And the repairs cost like $40,000. You will say, I told you before, the maximum offer you can give them is $175,000 because $250,000 out of 7% is $175,000. Minus the repair is $40,000. So the maximum that you can offer, for the house is $135,000. From an example of a $250,000 house ARV. So again, that's how you analyze the property. But most of the time, I say, I always use 7% of the ARV. Again, most investors will pay up to 7%. Like I always tell people all the time, the cheaper you get a property, the more money you can pay from the property. It's like say, it's a numbers game. You never pay retail. You never pay full price for a property. And a lot of times people think just because they see a property on Zillow, that's a good deal. A lot of times it's listed. A lot of times, people not motivated. But again, that's step number 3. You analyze the deal. Okay? You analyze the deal. See if the numbers make sense. Number 4, you put the property under contract. basically you create a simple contract where you put the property on the contract. They say a contract can be into an agreement between two people. And when you document it, you have it on paper saying that you want to buy the property in a certain amount of days. When you break the contract, always put 30 to 45 days on average. Sometimes you might get to go back to the seller and say, hey, I need more time. But most likely, when you put the under contract, they give you the legal right to market the property to find a cash buyer. And most cash, I say from experience, most cash buyers, they all cash buyers. They can close on a property in 7 to 10 days if they're a cash buyer. But sometimes if they need financing, it takes 30 to 45 days. That's why you always put it in your contract, 30 to 45 days. And again, that's the, I say, you put it on the contract. Once you put it on the contract, you find a cash buyer. A cash buyer, like I told you before, is a person that's going to buy the property, buy the contract from you. So again, from the illustration before, if you got under contract for $135 and the property is worth $250,000, you can sign the contract to your cash buyer to $145. That's $145. So you got under contract for $135. You sign the contract for $145. So you make $10,000 from the transaction. Again, for the example purposes, you find a property that is worth $250,000. You find it, you got it on the contract for $135. That's we got it on the contract for $135. But again, it's a numbers game. I said the cheaper you get it, the more money you can make. And the thing about it, real estate investing been around for years, longer than most people. Most people got introduced to real estate investing from TV shows, things like that. Again, I'm giving you the 5 steps in how to make money in real estate investing as a wholesaler. Again, you don't have to have no experience, no credit. And it's something that most people, that's how most people get introduced to real estate investing and wholesaling. Again, you find distressed properties. You get find motivated sellers that are motivated to sell their property. If they're not motivated to sell, they're not motivated. If they don't want to sell it, they're not motivated to sell. And think about it. If you know in the DFW area, 3,000 houses go in pre-foreclosure every month. There's 3,000 houses in the Dallas and Fort Worth area. It goes in pre-foreclosure. So the opportunity to make money is out there. You can do this in any city, any state, anywhere from you know, like I say, it does require work. One thing that most people don't realize, you must marketing that you buy houses. You must do cold calling, do the work. It's not gonna be given to you. I say most real estate courses cost from $500 to $2,000. Just doing the basics. I know when I bought the course back in the day, I paid like $197. That was back in the day though. I paid $197. They had promotion going on, and again, I promote different education courses. They teach you real estate investing, wholesaling, and say, and they pay if I give them a customer, they give me $1,000 because their course to teach wholesaling is $1987. They pay me $1,000 for just promoting the products, trying even doing the work or teaching. But I say again, real estate investing is something that anybody can do. You must put forth the effort, put up Bandit signs, market yourself on Facebook, on social media. Again, it's not you get rich overnight, but one check, the average check is from $5,000 to $50,000, and that's just one aspect of real estate investing. I say it requires work, but if you could do one, if you're making $10,000 per deal, and you do one deal per month, that's $120,000 in a year. If you do one deal, I say it's doable. But a lot of times people just they all make excuses why they can't get started. Again, it requires no money. It requires no credit. Shit. I say it's gonna continually be around. Years from years. Again, I gave you the 5 steps in real estate investing 101. Basically, you find sellers. You analyze the deals. You make an offer. You find a cash buyer. You collect the shit. Will you be interested in learning how to do that? I'm looking for people in the United States. And it's something that I'm willing to help people get started. If they're really interested in getting started, I'm interested in showing them how to do deals. If you need a copy of the contract I use, let me know. I can email you the contract I use. And I can give you some materials that you might need to get started. Things that you're gonna need. Again, real estate's 5 simple steps to get started in real estate investing as a wholesaler in 2026. Again, thank you for taking the time to watch my video. I really didn't want to make this long to give you a simple version of how to get started. So if you got any questions, feel free to contact me. Again, share, like, comment, and ask me any questions. I say, I told you before, I got introduced into real estate investing in 2006. That was my introduction. So, thank you for taking the time to watch my live feed. And I'm hoping that I brought value and gave you some understanding how you can start in real estate investing. And remember, if I can do it, you can do it. And no, it's not something that's going to happen overnight. You must do the work. You must do the work. Because it's not going to be handed to you. I know people say, oh, I can't do it. You can do it. They'll say, you just gotta learn how to market the business. You must know how to talk to people, communicate with folks. Because you gotta realize people are facing situations they can control. And let's say, if you go to any seminar to learn this, don't charge you on my leg. And basically, I just gave you the blueprint of how to get started. Again, it's not a get rich overnight thing. This is a business that you can do from home. It's a business that is lucrative if you treat it like a business. And remember that it's not going to go anywhere. People will always be selling their houses. Why do you think so many TV shows from this topic? Why do you think so many people are interested in real estate investing? Real estate make more millionaires than any other thing business. So why not? You started. Again, if you're watching this live feed, I gave you the instructions, the steps, and how to get started. So use it. Why not? I say you can make money. I say one deal. If you do one deal a month, you make $10,000 per deal. Again, that's $120,000. I say I'm not no guru. It's just something, a course I bought. I took action and learned it. And again, I hope it was helpful. Till next time, take care of yourself. And remember, you are amazing and great. So why not do something amazing and great today? And have a blessed day.